Oh my goodness, I have to take a break. I have to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, because the game just jumped to 11 for me right now. The game has just got good. And right now, I want to replay everything that I just got through playing. We finally hit that moment. There was a bunch of bad reviews previously, and if you listen to some of my tapes, that's the reason why quite a lot of gamers record their stuff silent, because the other reviewers, they'll influence them. But after a while, after you play for just a while, you finally get to that moment where you dig the game and things just get interesting, and you got it all sorted out and figured out, and all that negativity is just gone, blasted away. And I finally hit that moment right here, bang, splat, boom. So and I decided to do it with this game because I don't know why this thing got so many poor reviews. It's not the best game of the freaking century or anything like that, not by far. But for the love of God, I mean, it's a fun little hoot. It's a fun little game. I honestly don't understand why it got like mediocre scores in the according to the critics. And then when I got to YouTube, when I got online, I started checking out some of the videos on this game like a couple years later, because everybody was just praising all the classic games of the past. And this would be like I don't know, 2010, 2011. Just you heard everything that was old just get praised and praised and praised all over the place. And for some strange reason, when I came across Reservoir Dogs and I heard what the people's opinion of it was, there was a lot of people that were just claiming that this game was just terrible, and it stuck with me. And I was embarrassed to even say, "Oh shit, I even still have a copy of this." But even still, at the start of Gamergate, if I remember correctly, a lot of these bad reviews got widely seen, and they got accepted. And a lot of them were just amateurs at that, and it really didn't make any sense to me because at the time, because if I actually thought this game was crap, I would have gotten rid of it ages ago. I honestly would have gotten rid of it. But there was a storm of a bunch of people going out there saying every game was garbage, everything was up for fair game, for criticism. There's nothing wrong with good, fair criticism, but there was a popular perception of things, and it does influence what you think of as good or bad or whatever. It does influence taste to a little bit. But I still kept a hold of this game because I remember having fun with it when I was originally playing it, when it was brand spanking new. I remember thinking, man, this game is really cool. Haven't played anything like this. Don't get me wrong, there was GTA, but I just wasn't into GTA. I was like, oh, a sandbox, 100 hours, no, because I had to do, because you work your jobs and all that, and you work your 40-hour weeks or 60 hours in some cases, depending on who you are and what you do. But you work your job, and you do your laundry and your dishes, and you pay your bills and take care of all your business. You know what I mean? When you get home, you only get like 2 hours to yourself, and that's max, right? So you don't want to invest like Final Fantasy amount of times into your game. You know what I mean? You want something like that's only going to be like Street Fighter, like 15, 20 hours tops. But you don't want to. But you don't want it that simple. You want something a little bit more that has a little bit of a story to it. So Reservoir Dogs fit that, and there was quite a lot of other games like that too that were just out there. Devil May Cry is a big one that comes on the list. And don't get me wrong, these two are nothing alike in anything except for length of time. So when it came to games like that, they were a godsend because I wasn't too big of a fan of the sandbox games at the time, mostly because I just didn't have the spare time to be playing them, and I honestly didn't think anybody that was working didn't have the spare time. But games like this, they were a perfect fit. You wanted to have the GTA experience, but you didn't have the time to put into GTA. And I'm just going on an assumption on how long GTA is. It's probably, chances are it could be a shorter game. It could be shorter than what I think. But most people I know, they say, "Oh, I invested 1,000 hours in that game," and I'm like, "Really? Oh shoot!" Because back in the day, the only time people mentioned putting that kind of time into a video game was like Final Fantasy and things like that. Legend of Legaia and Xenogears and the games like that. A couple of RTS games, a couple of RTS game players, but not many. You know what I mean? So, but getting back to this used to be the mainstream. Your 30 to, your 25, 30, 60 hour game, and that was tops. That was the tops on the times. And yes, I know it's sporadic, the times that I put in there, but that was kind of sort of the norm. Almost nothing was under 13 hours, except for 13, I think it was. I think that was the shortest game that we had played back in the day, next to a fighting game, back when this was released. And like the longest going adventures still, I think, would be like fall into Final Fantasy or Phantasy Star Online and things like that. You know what I mean? It just wasn't, basically whatever your flavor was, there was a game for you, and whatever your time frame was, whatever your specifications that needed to be met were, they had that for you. Nowadays that we're into, because this is like a PlayStation 2 generation game. Now we're into PlayStation 4 gen, and all of that's lost. They changed everything. They say, oh, here's a 5 hour game here. Bugs out the ass. Here's an 11-hour game. Ooh, maybe good. Again, bugs out the ass. You gotta wait another 2 months or whatever for them to finish building the game. And then you got the Fallout crew. Here's a 300-hour game. Your first playthrough. You know what I mean? So you play through enough of your short games until you finally had up to here, and you're like, no, I want something to go on for longer than 5 or 10 hours. So then you dive into your Fallout. And that's basically all your options are. You got Skyrim, you got Fallout, and then you got all these other short games. And it's like, why are they doing this? Why? Where's the Batman clones? You know what I mean? I don't want to be I don't want to be running around a city dressed as Batman. Don't get me wrong, Batman games are cool, but not a lot of us have that thing for the folks in tights. Don't get me wrong, they're badass games. I got a couple of the Batman games myself. I'm a huge Batman fan. But when it comes down to some of the games that are worth your while, worth a bit of time, it's really a sad state the way gaming has gone today. And I don't know. A lot of us don't know where to turn, because that's the way consoles are going. And that's another debate for another day. I'm one of those guys that thinking of moving to PC anyway, because there's more selection, there's more games out there to fit my tastes, to fit my schedule, and I don't have to alter my schedule for whatever the needs my console is, or whatever the needs the brand is. It's like, oh, we need more money for DLC. Yes, I know PC has that, but that's neither here nor there. If we're going to be going for all online or updates or whatever, you might as well go PC. But that's for another argument. Getting back to this, yeah, there were so many people that gave this a bad review. Everybody accepted it to be a bad review, and this was after everybody knew that this was a mediocre game. Everybody considered it a mediocre game. And right now, I just got to that point where, yes, this game rocks. This game's the stuff. Yes, finally got to that point. Took a while, but once you get down with the controls, most games will fall under this category. Most games will. Not all of them. Most games will. If you give it a little time and you figure out how it works, almost everything falls into place. And right now I just found that place, and I just wanted to document it. That's why I got my rough cut file, because I know I'm going to be making alterations. And right now I know how to film it, in case I got to do reshoot after reshoot after reshoot. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Reservoir Dogs. Good luck. Peace.